Who are you becoming? Yeah, who are you becoming? You know, I ask myself every day, really now that we've been in this pandemic for about, I think like 10 months, you know, who am I becoming? And I don't think that a lot of us are asking ourselves this question, and I think it's a prime time to begin to ask ourselves this question, like who am I? What am I going to be now? And what am I going to be as I come out of this pandemic? I don't think I've ever had as much time to be quiet. And I don't think I'm good with quiet. I don't think any of us are good with quiet. I mean, we have really spent the last, before 2020, we spent all of our lives in cars and in subways and in trains and in buses, going from place to place and getting things done and finding parking and planning. But all the work that we're going to do. But it's for the first time, I think, since forever, we have the time to be quiet. I mean, it's quieter out there. So there's not as many cars on the road. There's no kids in the school. And I think it's a great time to reflect. I also think it's the scariest time to reflect because nobody knows what's going to be. But there's this gnawing inside of me, and I hope there's this gnawing inside of you about what could you learn about yourself right now? What is it that you really, I don't know if it's just a purpose question or if it's a mission question or if it's a passion question. I think a lot of it is right now we have some downtime, and it just occurs to me that we really should be reflecting on the type of person that we want to be coming out of this pandemic, because it looks like we are going to come out of this pandemic. And what are you becoming? Like, who are you becoming? Because when we go back, it's going to be like a rubber band, and we're going back, and you are going to do exactly what you did before, unless you stop. Right now, and especially with the holidays coming, I think work will slow down even more. To ask yourself, who are you becoming? How are you using this pandemic to figure out what you can really bring to your family, to your job, to the world? And it's a scary question. It's a scary question because you're asking yourself, and I'm asking myself, to give something greater than I've already given, and it's not more. This is not a more conversation. This is a who conversation. This is, who am I becoming? Who do I want to be? And I find that it's been 8 months, and I've pushed myself to be more expressive, to do more writing, to write more articles, to come up with great ideas for my clients. But there's still this gnawing that says there's a message inside of me that I need to share. Maybe this message is me now sharing. Who am I becoming? And if you'd ask me right now, and I have to answer the question, which I guess I should because I'm the only one creating this right now, is, yeah, I'm becoming more self-expressive, and I'm becoming more creative. And I think when I would answer the question about who I am becoming, I think who I'm becoming is a person who's more appreciative about the creativity that I bring. So if all we got out of this pandemic was who you're becoming is somebody who appreciates yourself more. If all we got is who you're becoming is someone who really relishes in what they bring and starts to be more creative in bringing it. If who you're becoming is someone who just wants to stretch their voice, to share their voice, to be more expressive in what they do with their family, in what you do with work and your life and your community. I mean, this is the time. Like, this is it. This is it. Like, it's now. It's now, because we don't have much of a chance. And I do think it's scary. It's scary because we are quiet and we're not used to being quiet. It's scary to write. It's scary to think about becoming something different. It's scary to be more creative. But I think it's scarier it is scary to actually think about that rubber band snapping back, and as soon as everything goes back to normal, that you just become your normal self. I think that's the biggest risk. I think that's the saddest thing. So I think in answering the question, who you are becoming, I think the place to go would be to ask yourself, what are those attributes of yourself that you've really wanted to step into greater? Maybe you're becoming someone who takes more risks. We've been forced and pushed, and for a lot of us, we've had to take risks. And we might not have this pandemic forcing us into taking risks. Maybe we need to take care of that right now and say, who I'm becoming is a riskier person. Who I'm becoming is a more creative person. Maybe who I'm becoming is a more loving person, right? More empathetic. I think this is a wake-up call for all of us, being more empathetic, for really, caring about people we don't even know and people we do know. Maybe it's who we're becoming is becoming a more caring person, a more empathetic person, right? Don't waste the crisis. Don't waste the pandemic. It sounds so trite, but it's so true. So I would really urge you to think about what traits, what values, what are things that you really, really care about, that you've been afraid to say that you care about, right? Like, I really care about being able to share my voice, to write what I'm thinking about, to get it out there, to not be so afraid to be real on camera, with my clients, with my family, with my friends. I think it's a wake-up call, and don't waste this time, right? To really double down. Who do you want to be when you come out of this crisis? How do you want to show up? I think just asking the question of who do you want to become, and giving yourself some time to really sit in that question, is the beginning of becoming who you want to become. So yeah, I'd love to hear from you in thinking, because I know you've been thinking, but have you been writing it down? Have you been communicating it with somebody? Because I really do think that for me, I want to be more empathetic. I want to be more creative. I want to be more expressive. I want to be more confident. I want to be more playful. Like, all those things I want to become, and it's time now to start working on it, because it's going to get busy in 2020, and we're going to forget this moment. Great. That's all I have to say, and thanks for listening.